Welcome back to Spyro the Dragon. In this episode, we are going to be going into Cliff Town, and then most likely tackling Ice Cavern after, because if one of these levels took an entire episode, that would be crazy. Since, you know, these levels are pretty short, and they don't get too much longer. Only a handful of levels in this game would take like 10 minutes or more. I can usually get through all the levels under 10 minutes, unless for some odd reason a certain level, like I can't find all the gems. Anyway, I love Cliff Town way more than I like Dry Canyon, because Dry Canyon is really boring in my opinion. There's not much stuff to do. Well, there's not much scenery to see. In Cliff Town, like, there's a village. It's a nice town, kind of like Pueblo-looking-esque, or let's say like southwestern United States, or like Mexico or something, like back in the day. I remember this, actually, I believe Ice Cavern's my favorite level in this, like, homeworld. To be honest, Ice Cavern I think is the only level in the homeworld that is pretty linear. This level in Dry Canyon, there are a decent amount of paths you can go on. But, you know, now thinking of it, Dry Canyon is pretty linear as well, except for the little extra area you can go to after you get the key. But Cliff Town, I would say, is the least linear out of the 3 levels. Because look, there's a top area where you can see some vultures, or a singular vulture and 2 green gems. We're going to be getting there eventually. It's stuff like you wouldn't think... Oh, is that an extra life? Dang. Okay. I forgot that in this game they made it so you can get extra lives from fodder like Spyro 2 and 3. Since that was not a feature in, well, Spyro 1, obviously, because I just said it was originally only in 2 and 3. So yeah, like, oh goodness, okay. So you'd think, if you have common sense, that it would make sense that it was not originally in Spyro 1. I am rambling. That's a problem I sometimes have, and something I want to fix eventually, but I mean it does add to my commentary style, so let's just get Halvor.
How's a dragon supposed to flame metal armor anyway?
Remember, Spyro, flame won't work on metal, but charging with your horns, that should do the trick.
Spyro, we've went against enemy with armor? We've went against enemies with armor multiple times. Why are you now questioning why we can't flame metal? Like, why? There was the dragon in not Stonehill, in Dark Hollow that mentioned you had to, charge armor. Maybe Spyro just had an epiphany like, well, maybe if I have a super flame, I can flame it. Which is not too far off. There will be a super flame eventually, but not right now. That's not until a later homeworld, which, honestly, I like that later homeworld more than this homeworld. As much as Peacekeepers is cool, almost all the levels being desert-like, it kind of gets boring after a while. If this homeworld didn't have icy... Oh, I almost said the name of a level in, I believe, Spyro 3. Well, what I meant to say was, if this homeworld didn't have Ice Cavern as a level, it would be relatively boring. Also, let me see if I can get this correctly. Did I get it? I don't think I did. If you jump correctly, you can kind of flame that firework, and you can get it to hit something. Let me see. Oh, there we go. I got it. I'm not sure which one... Okay, that's the one the firework hits. Funny story, I actually don't know how to get up to that area. I mean, I guess you could fly from where that dragon is, but I just never did. Now, on to this next part of the level. This is probably my favorite part of Cliff Town. You climb up these buildings and then kill those, like... I'm gonna call them cooking mamas. Even though they look nothing like Cooking Mama, they are like females who are cooking, and they look like mothers. I don't know, just they have like a mother aesthetic to me. And, oh, for a second I thought this didn't have a pot. which, not sure if I mentioned before, but you kind of have to flame the pots to get all the gems. It's really weird. It's something you wouldn't think you have to do, but you do in order to get all the gems. It's a nice little trick that they put in this game. Like, some later Spyro games have it so you have to flame cacti to get gems, which I will say is pretty annoying for those levels, but we're not going to get into that until a later game. I don't believe there are any cactuses or cacti. I think the plural is cacti. Because cactuses, even though it does sound right, I just don't think it's the right term to use.
Hey, what's on the other side of that river?
Why don't you glide there and find out?
Well, thanks for the very little advice. And did he have, like, what was supposed to be facial hair, but it was scales on his chin? Or mostly under his chin? I don't know. Anyway, we have a long glide over here, but look, we have this whole section, which honestly reminds me of Dry Canyon. Oh, okay, forgot there was a little hill there. That could have ended badly. I want to see if I can get through this level without getting hit. I doubt I will get hit since, the enemies, other than like the vultures, are pretty easy to kill. The cooking mamas are easy, the armor guys are pretty easy too, like, it's nothing you have to worry about. I was gonna mention something coming up, but let's just say the cooking mamas are in another level, because what I was going to mention that I originally thought I wasn't going to mention, but now I kind of want to mention. Weird, situation there, but in the boss levels, you'll notice that there will always be a type of an enemy that was from a previous level, except for the 5th one, I believe. I don't actually know there is an example in the 5th one that's kind of an enemy, but not fully. Oh dang. I didn't know there was an Xbox achievement for flaming every vulture. That's just common sense, since you need to get all the gems.
You've reached the highest point in Clifftown. You can get to almost anywhere from here. If I were you, I'd use that whirlwind over there.
Basically, what this dragon is saying is there is a whirlwind that is now active there to act as a shortcut, because we have to do a few flights to get all the gems on top of these buildings. There is no possible way you'll get everything. Like, it's not gonna happen. Now, where do I want to fly now? I could technically fly over here first. Actually, I am, because the other direction we have to go for flying is a little harder, and is there another chest we have to break open? Okay, no, I think that was the only chest we had to break open. I'm talking about the one that needed the firework. I believe there's only one, because as far as I remember, there's only one firework. Now, you may have noticed that there were some green gems over here. We want to be careful though, because as you see, we can't get past that area, but we can fly past here and make our way behind this area. And this is where a good amount of gems are. Let's see, how many do I have? 367. I believe this will be the rest of the gems we need. Yes, okay. Oh my god. I am so happy. These oh. Almost died. Don't worry about that. What I was gonna say was, these levels are really going my way right now. First Dry Canyon and then Clifftown, where I did not miss any gems. And I am frickin' notorious for missing gems in Clifftown. I don't know what it is, but it's really easy for me to miss gems in this level. So the fact that I did not miss any is really frickin' awesome. God, I probably should just say fucking awesome, to be honest. Like, saying really frickin' awesome just sounds weird to me. I don't know. It might not sound weird to you guys, but, I've never been one to, like, hide my swearing, but it's also cool to, like, not use swear words every now and then. I don't know. I I would personally prefer watching a YouTube video or a streamer that didn't just constantly swear when they get frustrated. Jesus, okay. I guess we have the freaking frog people on parade instead of the elephants on parade. They were charging after me pretty well. Anyway, let's go to Ice Cavern, the last main level of Peacekeepers, and as I mentioned in Clifftown, my personal favorite. Kind of funny how I mention my favorite level in a level, like in a separate level. Hopefully you'll find the love and enjoyment in Ice Cavern that I have, because it's a cool level. It's really nice to see a whole bunch of ice in a level after going through 2 levels that are just pure desert. Like, look at this. This level looks amazing. The lighting is great and everything. Let's just say we can get to a secret over there pretty soon, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. I will get it after we beat the level, since doing that sequence break to get a whole bunch of lives, it kind of brings you to the end of the level, and you can't go back once you get there, so there's no real point. If anything, you can speedrun this level really fast because of that little sequence break. Also, the bats are just fodder, they won't hurt you, they'll just surround you for some reason. I have no idea.
A word of caution, little one. Wait until you grow big, like me, before charging those large enemies.
You know, we've heard that many times. Don't charge large enemies, inflame smaller enemies with, like, shields. Which, honestly, I remember that was a big deal for back when this game came out, since a lot of games just had enemies where you could do one singular attack and they'd die. So it was cool that there were different types of enemies that utilized different attacks. While there are enemies that you can charge and flame, I believe they become fewer and far between as you go further in the game. Spyro 2 and 3 do a better job at kind of utilizing enemy types, where each level has a bigger enemy that you can charge. Well, no, a bigger enemy you can only flame, a normal enemy that you can charge or flame, and an enemy that you must, like, flame. It's cool that they do that. Also, these are gems, but be very careful. It's pretty hard to, like, hit it head on. Not too hard, but it can be a pain.
Spyro, some big Norks up ahead are wearing armor, and in the ice cave, armor can make their feet very slippery.
We're not going to be seeing that enemy for a tiny bit, because Ice Cavern is weird. Let me just say that. In order to get all the gems in the level, you kind of have to do a kind of weird jump here. So, as you see, we jump over here, and there's a chest that needs a key. You can see the key down there. We have to jump over here and fall down so we can get this key, but that brings us a little bit further into the level. So now we have to backtrack to get back to where the key was, but there are enemies and gems on the way, so we're gonna have to just travel backwards and get a dragon right here that we were supposed to get earlier.
Thank you for releasing me.
Okay, maybe I was wrong. Maybe there's more dragons that are just in plain sight that just say thank you for releasing me. It was cool that they did add text to the one dragon in Town Square, but it looks like that's not the case for every single enemy. But, at least they decided to add some text, so it's not as just picture perfect of a remake. Now, we're almost done with the backtracking, since it's not too far. But we don't go too far ahead. Now, that big green guy. We have to be careful, because what we have to do is we have to charge into him so we can fall off the ledge. Since, as that blue dragon said, armor makes their feet very slippery. I don't know if he says it like that in this version, but I always think of the voice clips in the PS1 version since, well, I've played this level many times, since as I said, it's a fan favorite of mine. I shouldn't say fan favorite since I'm not really a fan base, but it is a favorite of mine. Now that we have that, we can make our way back to where we were, but I think I'll just run through this area since I'm not okay, I did get the gems there. So I could have just jumped down, but I mean, maybe I can just show you a little extra area or some more of the area we kind of just glanced over. Like, this room's cool. The lighting's a little weird, but it's still a cool room. But now we're back here. You know, I probably shouldn't have made the backtracking seem like it was that much, because in all honesty, it wasn't really too much at all. Now, I'm watching you, Snowball Guy. I know he will throw the snowball at us, but I'm just gonna be careful. Because I swear I've gotten hit by a snowball that was really cheap at one point. Now, look at, oh my, I am surprised I dodged that. That was like a frickin' Matrix dodge. Not exactly a Matrix dodge, but it was pretty close.
Thanks for freeing me, Spyro. And now, where was I?
Huh. I remember he was an Elder Dragon, but I love how they made him buff. It's a little weird that they would do that, but they did. Also, these gems here, you may think, why did they put gems on these platforms? Well, it's because, as like Dry Canyon, there is a secret area to this level, where there's a whole bunch of the armor guys. If you never found this area before when you played this level, you would only ever find that one armor enemy, whereas in this area, I believe there are 3 more, where you have to be a little careful because that one always needs 2 charges, where I believe every other armor-wearing enemy of that type needs 1 charge. Okay, so, yeah, almost lost what I wanted to say there. I don't know. I guess getting towards the end of Ice Cavern, almost wanted to say the other level again. Oh, goodness. Thought he was going to hit me there. Getting towards the end of this level, there's less and less stuff to talk about, since it's mostly just hitting enemies and collecting gems. That's all it is. We do have one more dragon, and apparently a triathlon. Defeat all 3 skiing Norks. That's quite the achievement game, you know. It was really hard to kill all those skiing Norks. Oh. I guess that boy does need 2 charges. Maybe you shouldn't listen to me. I am not an expert on Spyro the Dragon. Like, I'm not the biggest fan. Well, I'm a huge fan, but I don't know every little detail. If you want someone who knows like every little detail, probably see Spyro Jam 86. His Let's Plays were pretty cool back in the day.
You've done well, Spyro. Some dragons thought you weren't ready, but I knew they were wrong.
I'm ready, all right. Ready for what?
We will never know what he's ready for. Kind of like we never knew what that one dragon knew. Remember the dragon in Dry Canyon from last episode? He said that he always knew, but we won't know what he knew. I need to stop talking. I am going into weird speech because I want to sound cool and... Oh, wait a second. Oh, never mind. We didn't miss any gems. God, these levels have gone really nice. Also, 3 lives up there. You might think, how in tarnation do we get there? Which I believe is a golden spatula in SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. Weird bit of trivia there, but it is a spatula in Rock Bottom in that game, which honestly is one of my more favorite games. Some people may think a SpongeBob game is kinda but I do love it. The Rehydrated trilogy is going to be coming out. Oh. SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. I keep wanting to call it the trilogy because I think of the Reignited trilogy for Spyro. So it just makes me want to say Reignited. Well, trilogy, not Reignited. Jordan, bleh. But yeah, I'm excited for that whenever it decides it wants to come out, since I'm pretty sure my girlfriend looked recently and it still said the release date was December 31st of this year, which is just the generic release date that sites do when they don't fully know what the release date is. I don't know, I think some people originally speculated in May, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Who knows, maybe as I upload this, the release date will be released, but who knows. It could be released because, well, this is actually... Oh my god, I'm surprised I made that. Yeah, that's how you make the jump. It's kind of a blind glide, and you get 3 lives from it. Pretty cool. Anyway, going on to the Rehydrated game. I doubt it's going to release by May, and I don't think a release date is going to be announced anytime soon, but I still have not uploaded the first episode of this series, and, well, this is the 4th episode. So by the time this video uploads, it could be released for all I know, since videos will be uploaded on an every other day basis, because I don't have the time or want to record enough videos to fill up every day. It's just, my voice would really kill me after, at the end of the day. And I also like doing about a recording session a week, or possibly a little under a week between recording sessions. Anyway, that is going to be it for this episode of Spyro the Dragon. In the next episode, we are not going to be taking on Dr. Shemp. Well, we will, but not at first. We're first going to go over here and take on Night Flight, then take on Dr. Oh my god, I'm surprised I did not die there. Stupid cannon guy. Anyway, we're gonna take on Night Flight, then take on Dr. Shemp, and if there is time left, possibly go to the 3rd homeworld, but I doubt that's gonna happen. So, this has been Jordan, saying see you later, and goodbye until the next episode. Which I forgot to say last episode. I need to remember that for episodes now on. Anyway, see you then.